to this week's edition of the Bulldog Blitz, coming to you inside Hinkle Fieldhouse. I'm Melissa Garfinkel.
And I'm Mallory Winters. The Horizon League is still looking for a solution to defeat the Butler cross-country teams. For the 11th time in 14 years, the men and women captured Horizon League titles. This was the 14th overall for the men and the 13th for the women. Shelby Burnett captured the top spot for the women, and the men went 1, 2, and 3, led by Callum Hawkins. Coach Matt Rowe won the Horizon League Coach of the Year, and up next for these league champions is the Great Lakes Regional in Toledo, Ohio.
The volleyball team is now third place in the Horizon League with 2 weeks left to play in the regular season. The Lady Bulldogs are coming off of 2 huge wins against Valparaiso and UIC this past weekend. After setting a team high of 23 blocks and a big win over Valpo on Friday, the team celebrated a clean sweep against UIC in 3 sets on Saturday. They also recognized Maureen Bamiro's last home game in Hinkle Fieldhouse. The lone senior had the final attack for the win against UIC, and we are lucky enough to be joined with her today in Hinkle Fieldhouse. Hi everyone, I'm sitting here with Maureen Bamiro, senior volleyball player for the Butler volleyball team. She's also a middle hitter from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Hi Maureen.
Hi Alyssa.
Okay, so first of all, can you tell us what the role is for the middle blocker on the court?
We pretty much go and double block with our wing blockers, and our first line of defense is stopping the ball at the net. Blocking is always first and foremost, and hitting is always secondary.
Okay, and then you're also the only senior on the team. How does that feel?
It's very lonesome, but I mean, it has its advantages and disadvantages. It's been a long time coming, but our team's fairly new, so I'm always conscious of the things I say and what I do, because I think it's important that I leave a legacy behind for these girls to follow, because they're a great group of girls, and without a doubt, as they continue to mature as players, that they can get better.
And how has your role from last year to this year changed?
Last year I was more of a leader by example, I would say. I feel like our seniors pretty much did what they needed to do as far as leading verbally, physically. I just was more of a player to come through whenever they needed me to put a ball down, more through my skills and assets, and not so much as verbally.
Okay. And you just celebrated your senior night on this past Saturday against UIC. What were your emotions at that time?
I was really happy, actually. I know a lot of people were like, aren't you sad? And, you know, it's your last time playing in Hinkle. And I was like, no, I feel like people who are sad that their career ending, that they didn't fulfill their 4 years here. And I feel like every year I left my mark on the program, and I've achieved something that I've already had set before I got here, so I'm pretty much content with my last game being on Saturday.
Okay, and let's get more into the season. You started off kind of rough at the bottom in the Horizon League, and you finally worked your way back up into third place. What has been the biggest change throughout the season?
I would say our practices have been more intense. They get harder and harder every day, which is great. Our coach continually stays tough on us, because she sees the potential we have to be great. And we did start off pretty rough, but right now we're starting to gel and get more of a flow. So I think that as we continue to find our niche and continue to work harder together, that we'll be unstoppable in the tournament.
And this past Friday, y'all played Valparaiso here at home, and y'all had a team high of 23 blocks. Do you think that your blocking game has definitely improved and been a lot to y'all's success lately?
It has. We focus a lot on blocking in practice, because at first we were a little shaky. We were definitely getting used, but with the intense practices we had, we've definitely been going hard on focusing on technique and making sure that we're closing the block, getting to the wing blockers, and closing hip to hip. So I think that the practices and the intense workouts are helping us.
Okay, and y'all also have 2 more weeks of conference play. What are you focusing on most individually?
I am focusing on blocking. For me, it's pretty hard to be the #1 blocker from last year and to come in, and I'm now in 6th place for blocking. So my main focus is trying to get my spot back for the remainder of 2 weeks. So I have a lot of work to put in, but I think it's very much possible. And I'm just also focusing on coming through for my team. Everyone knows that I'm a go-to hitter, and I just think that it's ample crunch time for me to be on top of my game.
And then what are y'all focusing on as a team?
Staying together. I think that, you know, it's capable for teams to separate or, go their separate ways when adversity hits them. But we've definitely been through adversity, and we're learning how to stick together no matter what comes our way. Just make sure we put each other first and foremost and lift each other up.
All right, and then my last and final question. As a senior, about to graduate soon, what is in the future for you?
I definitely want to get my degree before I leave Butler, and I am looking into playing overseas. Hopefully that works out. If not, then I will continue to pursue my career in communication disorders and sciences, and hopefully make my own little Bulldog someday.
That's awesome. Well, good luck. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Alyssa Garfinkel.
The Butler women's swim team is continuing to put up season best times early in their winter season. The Bulldogs finished second out of 3 teams, beating Center College but falling behind host IUPUI. The Dogs were led by Lauren Lembrecht, who won 2 of her 4 events. The Butler's next meet is back at IUPUI's natatorium on November 11th and 12th.
The Butler football team is looking to send its seniors off in style when it hosts Davidson on Saturday. The matchup will be the final home game of the season and the final game at the Butler Bowl for the team's 20 seniors. Senior kicker David Lang says what he will miss most after graduating is spending time with his teammates.
I don't think you can really find this anywhere else. These kind of relationships are hard to make, but I'll definitely be friends with these guys the rest of my life, hopefully, and hopefully we can go places together.
Butler, 4-4 on the season, will be in action for the first time since October 22nd when the Bulldogs suffered a homecoming loss to Marist.
Stick around because after the break, we have exclusive basketball previews.
The men's soccer team is trying to keep their postseason hopes alive. The team defeated conference foe Detroit 3-1 in a tough match on Saturday. The win will have the teams fight to make the conference tournament. Only the top 6 teams get to go to the tournament, and they are currently ranked 7th in the Horizon League. There are only 2 matches left in the season, including the team's next match against conference leader Valparaiso.
The Butler women's soccer team is looking for a successful Horizon League tournament after a tough loss on senior night. The Dogs dropped their final conference matchup 2-1 to the Loyola Ramblers. Freshman Elise Katsekis scored the Dogs' lone goal with 16 minutes left in the contest. It was her 6th goal of the season. Butler outshot Loyola 18-8 but came just short on several opportunities. Junior Claire Milam said the Dogs will look to play a complete game in the tournament.
Well, it was a tough loss, but we felt that we played really well. We had a lot of chances. We had 2 unfortunate goals on us, but I think what we just need to do is refocus and play well for 90 minutes. That's our biggest thing right now, is even if we play well for 85, for those 5 minutes they get 2 goals, we lose the game. So the biggest thing for us is focusing for 90 minutes.
The 6-seeded Bulldogs will take on Valparaiso in the first round of the conference tournament.
The men's golf team is trying to enjoy their weekend at Kiowa Island, South Carolina. 21 teams are represented this week at the Kiowa Island Intercollegiate as second-round play gets underway. The Bulldogs are currently tied for 11th, and Alex Walker is the low-scoring golfer after shooting a first-round 75, putting him in 17th place individually.
The Butler women's basketball team is fresh off a 76-59 victory over St. Francis in their first exhibition matchup of the season. I had the chance to sit down with guards Devin Brierly and Jenna Cobb to find out what their expectations are for the year. The basketball team is coming off a season where they finished with a 20-14 record and appearances in the Horizon League Championship and the Women's NIT. We're happy to be joined in studio by senior guard Devin Brierly and sophomore guard Jenna Cobb to fill us in on the Bulldogs' plan for the upcoming season. So we'll start with you, Devin. How can you sum up last season and coming so close to a conference championship and making the postseason?
Last season we were very successful. We were led by 4 seniors, and that senior leadership really takes you a long way. When you have 4 people that have a lot of experience. The Horizon League Championship game, we fell short, but we were still able to get a bid into the WNIT, and we're able to travel to Wisconsin and play there. So overall, it was a great season for us, and this season we look to do bigger and better things.
All right, great. So talking about those big losses to graduation, how are you looking to replace those key players on the court and in the huddle?
Well, this year's team we're pretty young, but we have a fifth-year senior coming back in Tara Burns, and myself and Kaylee May as seniors. We're just really trying to take the younger players on our shoulders and really lead them in a way that we haven't been led before, and just kind of getting that team chemistry together.
And Jenna, as an underclassman, what role do you guys look to play in that leadership also?
I think as sophomores and freshmen, we just look up to our seniors a lot and their leadership. So we just are trying to do the little things right and support them in any way we can and do our jobs individually for our team.
So you guys have some big out-of-conference matchups this year against UNLV, Nevada, Indiana State, just to name a few. What preparation goes into these matchups?
A lot of preparation. We spend a lot of time in practice. Well, obviously we scout and we watch video and all this other stuff, but really preparation, you just have to be focused day in and day out. Come in and give 100% and give everything you have, and that's pretty much the only focus that you're going to need. To be successful against these teams, because you can only do so much to prepare. But given your all, that'll take you to greater limits. So.
Jenna, what are the expectations against these tough opponents?
I think just to go out there and play hard and do our best, because that's all we can really ask for, and hopefully it's a good outcome.
All right, so you guys lost to Green Bay in the Horizon League Championship last year. Would you consider them a rival?
Yes,
yeah.
Very much so.
All right, so you guys won't take on Green Bay until the end of January this year. By that point, you're in mid-season form. So what is the excitement level for that game at home in Hinkle?
At home in Hinkle, it's amazing. It really is. It's a great atmosphere. And like you said, we don't take them on until the middle of our season. So by that time, we've had opportunities to look at things and get better, find things that we need to work on. And especially against Green Bay, we're going to go out there and give it our all because it's Green Bay. And we've always had that rival against them. And I don't know, it's just fun.
Jenna, for you, just a year under your belt in that rivalry, so how's that for you guys? Is there a different team than the conference that you feel is equally disliked towards, or?
No, not really. I'd say it's Green Bay. That's the one we want to beat mostly, so.
All right, what preparation goes into each individual conference matchup, knowing that there's scouting reports on you, that you also have scouting reports, but that you also have to play the team again?
Right. Like I said, we watch a lot of video. We do a scouting report before each game, but really it's paying attention to our game plan. We really have to be in tune with what we're doing, and if we do our best at what we're doing, then it's hopefully going to be a good outcome. You can plan so much for what other teams do, but you never know what they're going to throw at you. They could throw a different defense at you or a different offense at you that you've never seen before. But you just have to be ready for anything. So.
All right, and then what are your expectations for conference play this year? Jenna, we'll go to you for this one.
Okay. I think we're coming in and we're ranked 4th right now, so it's kind of like an underdog situation. So I think we're really going to surprise some people this year. But just to go out there, and obviously we want to win the league, so that's our expectations.
All right, so you guys have 2 long road trips to Cleveland State and Youngstown State, and then also you head up to Green Bay and Milwaukee. So the team is on the road for such an extended time. How do you stay focused on going in and getting 2 conference wins?
It's really a lot about the team. We're together a lot, and excuse me. It's hard. It's hard to stay focused on the road. But also you have school that you have to get your schoolwork done, and you have to be prepared for these games. But really, it's all individually. You all have to stay focused. Like, it's on you. You're accountable for, your focus and your ability to come in and be ready for the game. So.
I think another thing is, too, we all trust each other enough to know that everybody's going to be focused and ready for the game. I think that's a lot of it.
All right, so some new faces on the team. What can we look forward to in the freshmen this year?
I think you're going to see a lot of good things out of our freshmen. Right now in practice, they're doing a lot of big things, really surprising a lot of people. So, I mean, they're young, and, you know, they're going to make freshman mistakes and stuff. But I think once they get a couple of games under their belt, I think they're going to be good.
All right, any other players we can look forward to stepping up big for the Dogs this year?
Sarah Ham. She's coming off an ACL injury, but she's actually coming back really well so far, and we're really looking forward to her in the post.
And what games are you guys most excited for this year?
I'm most excited for the Green Bay game. And then I know, like you said, the UNLV game and all the big teams that we play, I always get excited for them because, you know, it's a great opportunity for us to play teams that are in different conferences that we don't see all the time.
Jenna?
I'd say Green Bay and Bowling Green. I'm really excited to play them, and probably the same, the tournaments over in Iowa and Nevada.
All right. Come March 11th, the final day of the Horizon League tournament, where can we expect the Bulldogs to be?
Well, hopefully we'll be the champions of the Horizon League tournament. I mean, really, that's our main goal this year, and it always has been. So hopefully we'll be hosting at Hinkle, and hopefully we will come out on top.
Well, we would like to thank our guests, Devin Brierly and Jenna Cobb, for joining us here today. We wish the Dogs luck this season as they tackle the Horizon League. They will kick off their season officially against UNLV at the Iowa tournament in Iowa City on November 12th. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Mallory Winters. The men's basketball season is officially underway. Colin Likas had the opportunity to sit down with sophomore Khyle Marshall.
Hi, I'm Colin Likas, and I'm glad to be joined today by Khyle Marshall, a second-year forward for the Butler men's basketball team. How you doing today, Kyle?
Doing great. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. And first question I wanted to ask you today, I wanted to look back at last year's team first. It was your first year on the team, and you guys make it all the way to the national championship game. Can you describe some of the emotions surrounding that experience?
I can't put one word on it. Just so many emotions just run through my mind. To be honest, it was just quite ironic how they made that run the year before I got here. And all I was thinking of was, oh man, I need to get here. I want to get here. I want to know the feeling. I want to know what it's like to play in the Final Four. And it was just amazing how the first year I come into this program, it just happens again, and it's incredible.
Right. And looking at that team last year, you the guys that aren't here anymore from it, you got Matt Howard and Shelvin Mack, Zach Hahn, Sean Van Zant. What does it do to a team to have all of those guys leave to either graduation or, in Shelvin's case, jump into the NBA?
I mean, those guys have definitely played a huge role in our program, definitely made a huge impact, but at the end of the day, you have to know that they're not going to be here forever, and you got to be prepared for that. And I think Coach Stevens was very aware that they were aware of Shelvin's early entering in the draft, and that's just something we prepared for, and Coach Stevens did a great job of that. We have 6 incoming freshmen that are ready to go, ready to play, and the transfer Rodney Clark coming in. Of course, he has to sit out this year, but he'll definitely be a huge impact for us next year. So they definitely knew that those guys were a big impact, but at the end of the day, we still have to move on and be prepared for the future.
Right. Well, you led me right into my next question. You got the 6 new freshmen this year. Can you talk to us a bit about some of those guys, what you've seen from them in practice?
These are guys that definitely made great strides, showed great improvement from day one. I mean, it's a lot of stuff you got to take in, especially knowing that you just got here. So many things are getting thrown at you, and you think it's a little bit overwhelming at first when you come in and you just learn, like, it's a whole lot more detailed than you are in high school, and it can easily get exposed at the college level. And I think those guys really took into that. They really learned from it, and I think they made like incredible strides from day one.
Right. And you talked about Rodney briefly too. He does have to sit out this year, of course, but what impact do you feel he has on the team, even though he's sitting out this year? And what impact do you feel he'll have going into next season as well? This
year, he'll definitely make the team better. He'll he was a marquee guy at Arkansas. Guy can definitely shoot the lights out. He'll definitely be playing one of the key players from the other teams on the scout team. I won't be surprised if he comes in and just kicks our butt a little bit, because we know the guy can shoot the basketball, he can score the basketball. That's definitely something that'll probably get us a little frustrated in practice, but it'll definitely get us better coming to the season. And next year, we're just going to be happy he's going to be on our team.
Right.
I mean, just the way he shoots the ball and the way he puts the ball in the basket is just incredible.
Right. Now, focusing on you a little bit, you saw action in all 38 games last year. You didn't start in every one of those, but now with Matt Howard leaving one of those starting forward positions this year, do you feel there's added pressure on you this year to perform?
I mean, usually outside you'll hear that there's going to be more responsibility on me, but at the end of the day, Coach Stevens and Coach Graves and the rest of the coaching staff has always told me, just don't get outside yourself. Just play the same way you've been playing into the coming to the tournament. Just carry it on into this season. Don't try to get outside yourself, because that's something you know that you won't be comfortable with. He just feels like, maybe more responsibility will be put upon me, but at the end of the day, I can't get outside myself.
Sure. So, staying with that, what do you feel you need to do to maintain what you did last season and maybe even improve upon it?
Just give a lot more energy. Whether it's lifting up a teammate, whether lifting up the freshman or one of the upperclassmen, just definitely being a lot more vocal. One thing that I knew coming into the tournament, that offensive rebounding was a thing that I thought I could really excel in, and that's just something I just kept working on. And there are certain weaknesses in the offseason that come in, and just work on that, whether it be shooting, ball handling. So definitely a whole lot of other things I've been working on just to improve, and mainly just something that I can definitely improve on that I think can make great strides early is just being more vocal and just be more of a talker out there on the court.
Right. And last season, you guys were in a hard battle with some conference teams, namely Valparaiso, Cleveland State, and Milwaukee, who eventually ended up winning the conference. Do you feel there's going to be that same competition this year amongst those four teams, or do you feel there'll be a new team jumping in this year maybe?
Well, one team like I said, all those teams were definitely great basketball teams. Like you said, there are teams that you don't know who's going to come in night and night out. Anybody can win a basketball game in our conference. It's very unpredictable. One team that's probably looking to shoot up is Detroit. They have all their guys returning. Definitely have a lot of talent on their team. So that's a team that someone we're definitely looking out for. As a team that people are definitely feeling that should definitely make a great run this year, and we're very aware of that. And like we said, you never know what's going to happen in this league. It's very unpredictable. Guys are going to come in and give it their all, ready to play.
Right. And you guys have a home-heavy schedule this year, at least early in the season. For 7 of your first regular season games, 7 of your first 9 regular season games are at home. Do you think that gives you guys an advantage at the start of the season?
It's definitely something that you really enjoy, knowing that you have quite a bit of home games in the beginning. But at the end of the day, you can't really let all the other things outside of that just change the way you play. At the end of the day, every court is just about the same. It has 94 feet, 2 goals on the opposite ends, 3-point line are measured the same way. The only thing that probably changes is who's rooting for you and the color of the court. But at the end of the day, the dimensions are still the same, so you can't really let that put into effect.
Sure. And now this is a big question that all the fans want to know. What can you expect from this team this year in terms of just the overall play, in terms of what kind of record you guys put up? What are you guys looking to do this year?
Well, we're definitely all hungry. We're all ready to make it back. The freshmen, they've seen it twice already. They want to know what it's like, just like how I wanted to feel like coming into my senior year, going into my freshman year. So they're definitely hungry. They're ready to compete. All the other guys, they felt it twice. Krishan, Eric, and I felt it once. We want to know what it's like. Just all we need is one more step, and we get over that one step, we'll be national champs. So we know what it takes. We know what it takes to compete, and we're all just ready to play.
You guys are opening up your preseason against Northern State on Wednesday. what's your game plan for that game? It's obviously not a regular season game, but still approaching it as a game.
Well, it is an exhibition game, but at the end of the day, you can't take any teams lightly, especially at the college level. You can't take anyone lightly. Coach Stevens has told us that they're a very emotion-oriented team. Pretty much they play the same way as the University of Evansville plays, so it'll definitely be a great preparation for us for Evansville. Like you said, he told us yesterday they have some really good ball players on that team, and if we take them lightly, I mean, we could get exposed. So we just got to come in prepared, know their tendencies, and pretty much just capitalize on those.
And last question, do you have a specific game that you're looking forward to participating in this year?
Feel like going to IU would be a pretty great deal, playing at Assembly Hall. It'll be definitely be a big game, very exciting, great atmosphere, two teams ready to battle out, and I think that'll be the game that I'm probably most excited for.
All right, well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for joining me, Khyle. I appreciate it. And now we're sending it back to Alyssa, Mallory, and Hinkle.
That'll do it for this week's show. For the Bulldog Blitz, I'm Mallory Winters.
And I'm Alyssa Garfinkel.